Good afternoon. It is Friday, almost Lionsgate, August 7th. We're using the Dali Tarot again today. Can I apologize for not being able to post the live pull of the cards yesterday? Love that reading though. It was all about contentment and progress, not perfection. Being content with where you've arrived and with being contented with what we have from that place of contentment, being able to continue to cultivate that beyond our own being, and finding contentment in community and family and our situations. Knowing that contentment is actually an inside job. And that there are habits and there are things that continue to pull at us, but we notice them, right? We're noticing them. And noticing them is not failure to ascend beyond them. Noticing them is just noticing that they're still there and you're working with that. That's it. And so is everybody else. We'll read again from the Salvador Dali Tarot. I hope you're well. Sun is at 15 degrees Leo today. Interesting conjunction of the moon and Uranus in Gemini. At the 5th degree, which is the degree of Mercury, so we want to take a look at where Mercury is. Mercury is beyond its shadow point, so it's beyond the point where it retrograded back in the end of July. So now we're starting to enter into new territory on our everyday thinking, our practicality, how we consider things on an everyday, like how we take in things every day. And I want to say taking in and receiving, because today is the 15th, the sun is at 15 degrees Leo, which is a 5 and a 1 equals 6, and that is the degree of receiving. When we receive information, when something occurs, how do we respond? Mentally, what's our attitude? The moon conjunct Uranus, it may not be at this point hour, but it was when I looked at it this morning. What the moon conjunct Uranus is inviting us to innovate and change the way our thoughts and our attitudes. The innovate, so get out of the old operating system and don't let things, like when we have setbacks, how do we respond? It doesn't matter that the setback occur. What's your response? What is the response? I had this happen to me earlier. I was walking down the street and on my way to physical therapy, and I just wobbled a little bit. My back like spasmed. It hurt. I continued to go to therapy, and I had my therapy session with some modifications. So innovate, right? But no lie, I was like scared. Like I went into, I noticed, like we now really can notice. So it's the noticing that's so valuable. Awareness, acceptance of what's there, whether it's an old, outmoded way of responding, or whether you're noticing you're responding in a new way, or that the new ways are there, they're kicking in. The response time might be there might be a little bit of a lag time, but the response is there. What are the attitudes? Are you going down the drain? Oh, a little bit still, but then I pulled myself out of the drain pretty quickly. You know what I mean? It's all of that. It's valuable information. Super valuable. What's the communication? What's the attitude? And at the 5th degree, again, that's a number where we're dealing with, it's our own stuff. We're kind of working with our own stuff. And the teens, that's when we're like, it's our interactions with others close by, our close-up interactions. And then in the 20s, then then it's the transpersonal. So it's beyond your sphere, but it's beyond those closer in interactions, frequent interactions. So this is like still an inside job. So we want to look at those things. It's kind of cool. How do we receive information? How can we make it different to make our lives, make our interactions, make everything fresh, new? More in alignment with who we've become, knowing that we're continuing to become, no matter how old you are. Anyway, enough of my chatter. Oh, yeah. King of Cups. Oh, I love that. How he's in this big, like, picture. This is great. I don't think I've ever pulled that card from this deck. Yeah, emotional mastery. Emotional leadership. That's the card of Aquarius and Pisces together. Ah, Ace of Cups. 2 cups on the deck, on the table. The beginning and the end, or the end and the beginning. As I always say, endings are just a new beginning. Ah, oh, the Devil. The Devil is here again. This came up at the bottom of the deck yesterday. And the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck with the Fool. So yeah, it's a new beginning. So yeah, here's our main cards. Here's our main pull. And so this is Friday, August 7th. I'll try to come back and do a reading in the morning. I don't know that I will. So this might be a reading that carries us through Saturday as well. King of Cups came out first, Ace of Cups in the middle, and then the Devil, and then the King of Swords is at the bottom. So I love that these guys are kind of here, and then we also have the Fool. Page of Coins here. Yeah, new beginnings, learning new things, coming at things with a beginner's mind. Emotionally, yeah, emotional innovation. That's what we're being invited to do. However, in the face of innovation, can you? And so here's one other thing: is can we actually play a little bit? So it's interesting that the Fool card, the Devil here looks a little bit like the Fool card in the traditional tarot. This is the Fool card in the Dali tarot. Where you have somebody stepping off a ledge. So sometimes, and often the Devil card can also be, let's come at things with a little bit of a more playful manner. Let's have a little more fun. Let's look at this again with different perspectives. Let's play the devil's advocate. So the devil can get a bad rap, but, often, the devil, I listened to an interesting podcast on the Hidden Brain about sometimes the person in the room who is playing devil's advocate, that's, voicing something that it makes everybody feel uncomfortable. That person can be, it's kind of the kill the messenger kind of deal. So we have Page of Coins. So it's time to learn new things, but maybe playing devil's advocate is what we want to be doing. Play devil's advocate with the way that you see, the responses coming in. Play devil's advocate, being like, don't believe what you're seeing. Sometimes the devil shows up because, this is a bunch of stuff, a distraction. And what are the distractions that are showing up around you that might be triggering you emotionally and keeping you, making you feel like emotionally overwhelmed rather than in emotional mastery? Like I said, I saw this show up. I saw all the guarding come up with me physically, mentally, and emotionally when I had that wobble walking to physical therapy. And I chose to come at this a little more logically. Let's see. Let's take our time. Let's see what's actually going on. Let's come at this and invite a little more play. And so I was joking around. I was laughing with my therapist. You know what I mean? Like I was still having a serious therapy session, and we were still being careful, but we were talking about a bunch of different things, and we were coming at things with a little more of a lighthearted manner. So being a little more playful. The devil is also in other decks is playing some music. So what can you bring in that keeps you from being nah, 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 and being more in, again, emotional mastery? Come at things with a little more of emotional remove, King of Swords. Be willing to say, okay, I'm just starting some of this stuff. Like, don't let yourself like get beat down and being in compare contrast mode. Like I kind of see a little bit of a black and white kind of thing. Black and white thinking is usually devilish as well, but be devil's advocate. Like that is actually a better use of the devil's energy to bring us out of our habitual ways of looking at things and thinking of things. And that's why devil's advocate, that voice of devil's advocate, people want to, ostracize that, and they don't want to let that one in at the table because we might have to do something different. And that's uncomfortable. That makes you feel uncomfortable. That might make you feel like, ooh, I'm a butterfly on a stick. I get that. But use that energy in an innovative way, knowing that the change can happen, knowing that we don't have to make like a lot of the time we get overwhelmed by change because we think we have to make it all now. But only, really lasting change only occurs in small amounts, in small increments that, comprehensively and cumulatively come into something that eventually is that larger change, that larger innovation that started way back when. There's a book by Bruce Feiler, Life Happens in the Transition. So you have this moment, but then, everything that happens is actually in between, right? But we get stuck with this like polarized type of beginning end and very rigid thinking about that. Let's think about it differently. All right. I love you. Enjoy this reading. I'll try to get back and do another one for us tomorrow. If I can't, rewatch this. And then I'll get back when I'm able. All right. Much love to you. Have a great day. Oh, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, and directly send it to somebody who you think might need it. Or if you want your own private reading, let me know. Thanks.